Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we've got a few things. First of all, I hadn't realised in the previous video that the fusions were available. So this is the WrestleMania 42 fusion, and interestingly, all of these people weren't actually part of WrestleMania. So R-Truth, Miles Bourne, Ray Phoenix, Elio LeFleur, Kevin Owens, Jordan Grace, and Chelsea Green. I think there's some kind of irony there that every single WrestleMania 42 fusion wasn't actually a part of WrestleMania. Yeah, we can fortify this Roman Reigns. Let's go ahead and do that. First of all, nice little start to the video. We'll just use this Julius Creed to fully level. And we are working on our Becky Lynches. We just have 7 more games to go on this one, and then we can make the pro of her. We're trying to make pros of all of these the cards now. Just try and clear up some space. Same with our Joe Hendrys, which we can indeed now make the pro of. So let's go ahead and detach this for just now. Now we've already got an F3 Joe Hendry. This is actually our second pro, but they are pretty good when it comes to things like Road to Immortality to make sure that you've got all the things needed for that. So let's go ahead and make a second pro Joe Hendry. A pro Henry, if you will. And say his name and he appears. I believe in the Grand Cat. There's an old Grand Cat song indeed. Now, hilariously, it says that these two can be combined. So this one you can't fortify, but we can fortify the F3 into this one. That would be absolutely pointless, because it would just turn an F3 and a Pro into one F3. But it is technically possible. It is ridiculous. And look at them waving their hands there in unison. That is rather ridiculous indeed. We're still working on the Randy Ortons, the Kit Wilsons, and the Carmelo Hayes as the next one that we need to work on. But interestingly enough, over here at the Superstore, of course, we've got all of our games that we need to play. But what is this? I've never seen this pack before. Alright, okay, it just contains a whole bunch of old school cards, including your chance of getting Robocop, which I already have. Got it back in the day. Oh, there's this cool Roman Reigns. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the one that you can't use this image on any other ones because it treats that as a special edition. And I don't know why it does, because it's like, this is one of the best Andre the Giant, this is one of the best Roman Reigns, and it doesn't let you use it on any other images. So that is ridiculous. Man, there's a lot of cards here. Ah, I see. I was like wondering why everything was like 0.8% and things, but it's because things like this Gobbledygooker and the Maxine Dupree are 15% chances, where everything else is like a 2% or less chance. Well, these ones are 3%, but yeah, I don't know why these ones are such a high percentage rate. Yeah, it's really weird. But our collectibles, the surfboards have indeed finished up. If we go into Superstore, we have brand new cards. And in Backstage, you have the ones that lost these 2 matches. So we've got the AJ Lee, who lost to Daman Has Come Around, which is, of course, Becky Lynch. And, of course, we have the Demon Finn Balor, who defeated Dominic Mysterio, and you can get the Dominic Mysterio from the Backstage as well. Now, I don't think I actually need either of these at the moment. They'd be nice to have. But I think I'm going to keep my super coins for just now. We've got 28 days and 23 hours left to grab them. But at the moment, we've already completed campaign mode. Oh, that's interesting. Is this the Saturday Night Main Event that has the chance at the John Cena? Oh, we've got the Elimination Chamber cards as well, including the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Ah. That's tempting. The Royce Keys as well, and the Elimination Chamber Danhausen. There's actually quite a few here that I think I'm missing and that I could use. Although I'm not seeing the John Cena. I think that may be considered a separate special card rather than the Saturday Night Main Event ones, because it doesn't appear to be showing up. Okay. Still can't get that freaking John Cena. So what else are we going to do today? We've been playing a lot of WrestleMania forever because, well, it's freaking mandatory, essentially. We're now at 32,000 and we have got... Well, we can't actually get the next reward until we get the Attitude Era Championship, which comes from Deal of Destiny, which happens in 6 days and 22 hours. But you do need 200,000 points to get this mystery final reward, which still hasn't been revealed to us. But once we get this Attitude Era belt, it will give us Becky 2 belts. Of course, Becky Lynch when she won both championships. So that is a cool thing to look forward to. PCC will be starting soon. It is all ego, kill him with a smile, Ethan Page against the new version of Tony D'Angelo, who looks a little less like a mafioso and more like the Wild Man of Borneo. He is the current NXT champion, I believe, and Ethan Page has just been moved up to main roster. So let me know in the comment section, which one are you going for out of PCC? I am tempted to go for Ethan Page, but I could also see people being interested in the new NXT champion. Tony D'Angelo has been, of course, around for quite a while, but he's got a whole brand new gimmick and a whole brand new look. Ethan Page, of course, is the same as he always is, but I think that Ethan Page might just be a little bit more popular and a little bit more mainstream than what Tony D'Angelo is. I think that might make people go for him. Also, Tony D'Angelo is up arrow, I believe, whereas All Ego Ethan Page is a left arrow, which I believe tags with the right arrow event Randy Orton that we just got last week. So I think that might prompt people to go for Ethan Page as well. But let me know in the comment section below who you're going for, who you think is going to win. Now let's go ahead and do Crack the Case first. Always good to start with this. So we're going for a 0, a 1, 2, and a 3. Wow, that's very cool. Incredible, actually. Although what wasn't incredible was the freaking rewards. Useless as per usual. I mean, before this tier, Crack the Case was well worth doing. It's just this tier that they just seem to forget about Crack the Case, and it has the most basic rewards. So that's unfortunate. Crack the Case, I think, should have some Roddy Pipers or some WrestleMania Forever cards that could be thrown into WrestleMania Forever in some way. But yeah, the current rewards we have for it, not entirely great. Let's take a look at our Boom rewards. We haven't done that for a little while. Is this still horrible? Yes, it does. It contains one of the following rather than containing WrestleMania card. Let's see what a 12-win streak gives us. Oh, well, this one's actually good. It gives us 2 random sports. And it also contains 5 random cards. Okay. So these 5 random old school cards definitely make Boom worth playing. So we have a reason to play Boom again. And it's not for the infinite reward. It is for the little prize packs there. So absolutely well worth grabbing. Let's take a look and see what else does it do. Of course, have Rule the Ring. We've got Hype Train, of course. And we've got Blocker Buster. Alright, well, let's give Hype Train a shot first, shall we? See if we can get ourselves a Rowdy Piper. So we're trying to get an 18 or a 19 here. So an 8 and a 5 would be 13. 7 would be too much. I think we're going to put the 8 and the 5 next to each other. 9 is the highest number you can get, and 5, I believe, is the lowest. I don't remember ever seeing a 4 before. So 13 plus 6 is 19, so that is fine. Now, 7 plus 6 is 13. And another 6 would be 19. Put the 7 and the 8 together, I think that screws us over because I don't think... Well, actually, that would be 15. Yeah, we would need a 4, so that's not possible. Okay, so the 8 has to go in the separate position down here, and we need to get lucky and get some low numbers next time. But we'll put the 6 here, and let's see what we get from these last ones. Okay, so the 6 is just enough, because the 7 is overhyped. So we are going to put the 6 in here, bring ourselves up to hype times 2. Then, of course, 2 of these would be 16, which puts us up to hype 1. And if I wanted to, I could pay 350 credits to get a hype 5 rather than a hype 4. But 350 credits, I just don't feel it's worth it. So we're just going to go ahead and accept that one and then just claim the reward for a hype 4. Which is going to give us some old school cards. We've got a WrestleMania 42 card here. Oh my goodness, we got the Hall of Fame Rowdy Piper. I expected that to be shiny, because that's the special one. But we got him. There he is, folks. The Hall of Famer, the Rowdy one himself, all the way from Glasgow, Canada. Because he was Canadian, he wasn't from Scotland. It is, of course, the Hot Rod Rowdy Piper. Very, very freaking cool. And of course, we've got another couple of Rowdy ones to go with them. 100% going to lock that down. This is not new. I don't know why it's saying new there. That is a lie. But this one is brand new. So that is very cool to see indeed. I remember the Eddie Guerrero. That's it's not a Battle Pass one, I don't think. But it's him and the Lowrider, the little animated one. It's not going to show us there, but yeah, I recognise that artwork. Let's see, what is the All Out Bubblegum? Okay, it just contains 25 Rowdy Pipers, oh my goodness, for £8.49. Right, let's try Rule the Ring. This one we are just going to play for free. We're not going to spend credits. We spent way too many credits in the last one. I believe it was over 3,000 credits that we spent trying to complete this thing. We are getting some cool old school cards here. Including this Flip Chelsea Green. And we can also make the pro of this feral Randall Keith Orton. That's why it's called the RKO. Because his middle name is Keith. Okay, good. I thought it was literally just going to move forward 1. And we've got a 1 in 3 chance of continuing, or we could just wind up here. Let's go for the one on the far left. Unfortunately not. Okay, it was the one on the far right, and we're just going to claim it, exit there. Next up, if the game will let me, we'll go into Blocker Buster next. Now, of course, we've already got an F3 Joe Hendry and a Pro Joe Hendry, so we don't really need additional Joe Hendrys, but if we get one, fantastic. If we don't, I'm not so bothered about it. Try and clear out some of these from the center, first of all. Okay, so we know where the silver belt is. Well, we can certainly get the silver belt for free. The gold belt, however, could reasonably be anywhere. Either along here, down here, or along here. Those are the three positions that it could be. Okay, it wasn't up there. Let's go ahead and claim an exit with just the silver belt. See what we're able to grab from here. A couple of ovation tokens. And the Santos Escobar is also not new. That is a lie. Yeah, that's interesting. Tells you what ring you're on. We're at 91 ovation tokens. We're 9 tokens away from getting an F1 on our second Joe Hendry. So that is quite crazy. The next thing we're going to do is go into here and go into combinable. We're going to look at our old school cards, which we can, of course, Catalog Pro. This Pharaoh, Randy Keith Orton. Our Metal Rey Mysterio. And we don't need to make the pro of this hot rod here. It's now time to trade in a whole load of legacy cards. Now I think we'll keep this WrestleMania 42 card for a little bit later on when we get higher leveled cards. But we will use a WrestleMania Rewind on this one. Trade in those cards. And for those ones, I think we will go for an Ember tier card. Okay, these ones are getting a little bit into the weaker side, so I think we'll use up this Royal Rumble 26 one here first. And then we're just going to use up the rest of these. With these static ones. Which is only a mere 48, but those 48 points, when added up, might cause some damage later on. But I think we are just going to go ahead and dust the rest of these, because unfortunately we don't need these, but what we do need is some space in our inventory, because W Supercard refuses to allow us to add anything to our binder. Fortunately, none of these are going to help, including these static supports here, because we do need to clear out some of those as well. And that reminds me that I think we have some quests to complete. Charlie Dempsey. It just occurred to me, it didn't give us the option to use that Razor Ramon, did it? Yeah, it doesn't. Interesting. There is certainly quite a few images of the Hall of Famer Roddy Piper. Well, we've got 3 of these images now. I'm not sure what one to go with. I mean, there's so many different generational images of the Hot Rod. But I think I will just keep with this one for the time being. And there we are. There's Hot Rod at level 100. Of course, we're going to try and get a pro of him and then level that up as well. Oh, we've got Daruler Obafemi. Just realised that he wasn't locked down. I must have grabbed him and forgot to. We haven't locked down this Danhausen because we do have an F3 of Danhausen, and we don't really need an additional pro. If we do get one, fine, you know, we might see about proing him up as well. And the Joe Hendry we're going to leave at level 0 for the time being because it makes them easier to get the 100 matches in Wild while we are training up the rest of these cards here. So, of course, this Becky Lynch is finished. So we're going to go to a different card, which I think is probably going to be Roxanne Perez. We're going to train her up as well. And we're going to go to equipment and needs matches. These knee pads here. And we'll give you these boots so that everyone is leveling up something whilst we play. Let's go check out our quests. So you can see that we've got 4 out of 5. Let's go ahead and claim this one. Which does give us some more cards that we can use in the WrestleMania Forever. And the last thing we've got to do is acquire 150 Roddy Piper cards. It says we're currently at 127. Did that increase? 137. Ooh, so we only need like 13 more Roddy Pipers. How's our 24/7 doing? We're on a 7-win streak. Could maybe get a pro Roddy Piper very, very soon, in fact. This does say contains one of each of the following, which implies that it does contain one each of Roddy Piper and one each of the Golden Era title. But the comment section in the last video, some people were saying you absolutely 100% get both, and there was some speculation that it could contain one of the following. Like, it says one each of the following, so you're presuming that one each of the following means both. People think that it contains one of the following would be one of, and it wouldn't say the word each in there. But it's badly written, and we're going to have to see. One interesting thing is Roddy Piper never held the World Heavyweight Championship, so it's weird that he comes with this one. But he is largely regarded as one of the greats who did not win the championship, along with the likes of Jake the Snake Roberts. I believe that Now, I might be misremembering this, but I think that Roddy Piper was world champion of a different company before he was in WWF, or maybe after he left WWF. He certainly wasn't WCW champion, but I'm thinking maybe he was maybe NWA champion? Possibly? I know that the likes of Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and such were. But now I'm wondering if maybe Piper never held a world championship. Very interesting. Let's jump into WrestleMania Forever now. And we do have new cards to trade in. Now that is going to be worth a decent amount. So that one, I think, is worthy of a WrestleMania Rewind card. I'm just going to see how many WrestleMania Rewind cards we do actually have. We are running low on them, so maybe we'll just use an Ember card here for this one. Because later on, we will get cards that are worth more than these ones. I think that this is still worth an Ember card. WrestleMania 42 elbow pads. Now those are worth keeping. Now these ones aren't quite as good, so a static one here is totally fine. Then we only have the two left, I believe. Now, if we play some games of Boom, can we get Roddy Piper packs from these? No, it just contains random cards. See, this says contains one of the following, not contains one each of the following, which means that you get one of these. However, the way that this is worded, it says contains one each of the following, which implies that you do get both. And I really want to find out if we do indeed get both of them. I'm also thinking if we play some games of Boom, that 24/7 might activate, and the next reward is going to give us 3 Roddy Pipers, which means we would only need 10 more Roddy Pipers. Do we get Roddy Pipers from Rule the Ring? No, we don't. Okay. I mean, we do get 25 Roddy Pipers from this, but I don't really want to go paying the £8.49 if I don't need to. Do we get Roddy Pipers from this? No, we don't. Okay. What do we get Roddy Pipers from? Also, is this the only way to get the Becky Lynch and the Kurt Angle at the moment? I'm hoping that more ways come out later on. Flash credit sale. Change the questions. That was one of Piper's quotes. They think they've got the answers. I change the questions. That was, of course, on Piper's Pit. Where Roddy Piper would do his little talk show angle. Must admit, I am a little bit tempted to get this new variant of the Demon Finn Balor. I'm also kind of tempted to go after the WrestleMania Las Vegas Becky Lynch. I'm curious as to what this will look like if you put the Becky 2 belts image on her? Like, are the belts going to be cut off at the top here? Like, what would that look like? This is an interesting question. Okay, let's play some Boom. We haven't played Boom in a while, and with good reason. But now I think it is now time for us to actually play some Boom here. And, oh my goodness, we haven't updated this deck in a little while, have we? Okay, so first of all, I think this Romarine is going to sit here. And lots of decisions need to be made. Okay. So let's go for positive. So Matt Cardona is obviously quite a massive amount. CM Punk is 13,000. Cody's 11,000, so CM Punk is actually higher. Do we have anything higher than 13,000? It does not appear so. So it looks like the Zebros are indeed getting used. Now for Obafemi, we want negative, and we want it for both. Now that Randy Orton is significantly stronger. So I think we are indeed using this Randall Keith Orton as well. Now, what is this one? 215,000. This is 40,000. So those two are going to swap over. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. And now we have to decide on these ones, which is going to be negative. So this one here is 13,000. Yes. Now you guys are only 10,000. Do we have higher than that? Also 10,000. 10,700 as opposed to 10,600. Okay, I think that one's going to stay there. Actually, Jake the Snake. Actually, yeah, that's fine there. That one's arguably better in that position. These ones may need to swap. Breaker is just a little bit higher here than what Ilya Dragunov is. And I think, other than that, we're good. What I could do is I could put equipment on these and use momentum to make them just a bit stronger. But we don't really care about this pack here. What we do care about is just trying to get wins. So that's what we're going to go for. Do have the maximum number of equipment cards because we got 2 of them. So we're going to have to get rid of a couple of equipment. Oh, it's fine. It's just 2 Royal Rumble 26 cards we need to get rid of. That is fine. I was worried that I would need to start actually looking at what it is that we need to remove. I'll keep hold of that for just now. Okay, we can test by going into draft board. Okay, we need to get rid of one more equipment. So what is our next weakest equipment? It isn't going to be any of these arrow changes. I think it's going to be this one. Both the power and the charisma are both pretty weak. And also neither of them are speed. So I think that's the one that makes sense to dust. It's just really weird that we are now at the point that we are dusting WrestleMania Rewind equipment. But again, it is a space issue. And it's just what we need to do. So now we should be able to go into Boom and actually play some games. Can't help but notice that the opponent is being strangely difficult today for the first game. Is that what I want to do? I believe so. I just want to get rid of this red space here. That takes care of that for us. And there we are. A solid 227,507. Despite that weird, difficult start to the match. Oh, we've got a new challenger. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Whenever you're ready, game. It's alright, it's not like I'm on a time limit or anything. Anytime now. Thank you. Whew, jeez. Wasted 20 seconds. It also says that my profile image is Joe Hendry, which it is not. I'm a cat, not a Joe Hendry. There it is. There's my big old cat with the World Heavyweight Championship around my paws. Let's go with Nia Jax. There's the leg drop. A tag team. I think seems fitting with Joe Hendry and Randy Orton. Both of them with their arms raised, as you can see. And then a tag team with speed. We'll use the help of Daniel Bryan, now known as Bryan Danielson, to help out Yokozuna and Matt Cardona here to take on CM Punk and Braun Breaker. And let's go ahead and claim that reward. There's another 1, 2, and 3 Rowdy papers, meaning that we only need 10 more in order to finish off this quest, which is very, very close to being finished. So let's play some more games of Boom, shall we? We're against Regan Powerbomb. Actually, I think we're going to do this one just to take care of that red space there. It's mildly irritating. But that should stop the computer from being able to make any more moves. Now, I need to be careful here, because we still have our Randy Ortons, which is fine. And we need to make sure that they don't accidentally take out any of our other cards. So this one's going to go here. And this one is going to go here, so they don't harm anyone. And then Matt Cardona is going to come in here. And there we are, 236,000. And it looks like we can make a pro of that Johnny Gargano. So that's a nice little reward. And we've got our infinite reward pack. Let's see how lucky we get. Will we get a WrestleMania 42 or will we only get a WrestleMania Rewind? That certainly looks like a WrestleMania Rewind card, unfortunately. Now we do have a rare to draft pick, but it only gives you it once you actually leave the Boom. For some reason, it does not immediately show up, which I think is rather strange. I'm going to go here actually. That is mildly annoying. Okay, it's getting better. It's got worse. I think we're actually going to do this. Now, we haven't had the Matt Cardona yet, and if we take over this Drew McIntyre, we're going to have to put something like the Roman Reigns here in order to take out both these, but we could use Randy Orton to take out this card here, use Roman Reigns to take out these ones, and then use Matt Cardona to heal all three of these, rather than only two cards, which I think is actually stronger. So we are unfortunately actually taking out our own card deliberately here, purely for that reasoning. Because that Matt Cardona gives us a lot more points than what that one Jey Uso would have if Matt Cardona had only charged up 2 cards as opposed to 3. Got 2 more games of Boom to do. See if we can get another 24/7 championship match. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for the Randy Orton to show up. Not that one. And he should be able to take care of all of that for us. And there we go, 246,000. And awaiting a network. Wonderful. Okay, that's fine. And we've got a rare to draft pick as well. Let's go for this one in the top left. An Ember Kofi Kingston. Sometimes you have to check this because sometimes it doesn't tell you when a new opponent appears. It's supposed to, but sometimes it just doesn't. So always keep an eye out for that. Now we've got some cards that we need to trade in here. Before we do, actually, I think we've got a couple of cards that need to be pro'd. So let's do that before we accidentally take care of anything that we need to actually make pros of, such as this Johnny Gargano here. It's costing us 300 super coins. Expensive pro. But one that we need to do, if we are to try and get any more of these old school championships. Well, apparently we did complete Season 2. Okay, well that's nice to see. Season 2 is completed. Season 1, we are a little ways away. We are 10 ultra rare, 5 epic, and a whole bunch of legendary Survivor and WrestleMania. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But we have managed to complete Season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9 is the next one that becomes a problem, followed by 10, followed by 11, followed by 12. And you can see that the Ultimate Collector Championship, we are starting to get a few different rewards on there. The only one that we've still got locked is the League Championship, which we need to get 56 Platinum League milestones, which we currently have 20, and I don't know if there's any faster way to do that, or if it's just a case of waiting until those legacy rewards all come back to you. So let's go back into here. Now that's not a particularly fantastic amount, so I think we'll just go ahead and use an Ember one. Some of these, it might even just be better to dust once it gets into those weaker points. Just go ahead and use this static reward here. And we've only got the one Iron Sheik who's only worth 3 points, which isn't even entirely worth our time. So I think we are just going to dust some of those recent cards that we just got there. We do have a lot of Ember cards now. Wow. A lot more than I expected. And yes, we don't need this Iron Sheik either. And that looks like a little bit more acceptable than what we were at before. Let's take a look at our quest once again. We still need 10 more Rowdy Piper. Okay. Not much more to go. We do have quite a way to go to get the next infinite reward. We're now against Gator Meat. I've never tried Gator before in my life. I have tried Gatorade, but I do not believe that's made with real crocodiles. I think that is a falsity. I think I'll do this just to give me some more open spaces up here. I think we'll place this here just to stop that from happening. And I think that is okay. Go ahead and do that. I'm just trying to remember what the last card was, and it should be CM Punk. And there we go, that's about the best we could do with that game. Couple of old school pixel cards, which we can indeed make pros of. Let's use some of these draft picks, because we can get Rowdy Pipers off the draft board as well. There's one. You now only need 9 more Rowdy Pipers. So we will keep this Rowdy Piper. Keep the static support here as well. Just for WrestleMania Forever. I think the rest of it can be dusted, however. Well, we've got a little while to go before we get some more boom rewards. So let's play a quick game of Leagues, shall we? I was playing Leagues on my other phone, which is why we've got some more points there. The only thing I've got left to do here is Survivor. Actually, this is now a good point to actually show you. There's an easy way of playing Survivor. Survivor is one of those things that puts a lot of people off because it takes so long. But let's just go ahead and I'll show you how to just jump in, and so long as you don't mind losing, there isn't a way of doing this. I do like this Road to Immortality, you know, having the little title belts next to everyone's names. I think it's a cool little thing. So So you see up here in the top left, there isn't a little back arrow yet. But once you get to there, then you can just hit back, and then you can just ignore Survivor, and later on it'll let you know that you lost, that you came 8th or 9th or whatever, and you've also given your opponents a free win because you're not pulling any cards. It gives the cards to the opponent randomly, and it just autoplays for you. So if you want to just get your games of Survivor done and you don't care about winning or losing, you can just go ahead and do that. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Royal Rumble here. We want to get 7 more games in this Becky Lynch. This Becky Lynch already has her 100 games. So we're going to swap her out for someone else that is combinable. And I think it's going to be this Roxanne Perez. I think that's what we said before. So we have deliberately made the rest of the deck extremely weak, using all of these WrestleMania 41 cards, so that we only have 2 special cards here, and you'll see that the opponent will also have a deck that's similar to ours, where they'll have 2, perhaps WrestleMania Rewind, perhaps something that's similar to WrestleMania Rewind. And what this will allow us to do is hopefully get a whole bunch of games for these females. So our toughness is a little higher than our charisma, so we'll go with that one. So each one of these games counts as 1 game towards your 100 matches. So this is a lot faster than playing the likes of Wild, where there's only a chance of having a female match. Because these ones are, of course, all guaranteed. And you can get multiple of them in a row. Now, remember, we started with 0 matches. Once we finish this game, I will take a look and we'll see how much our Roxanne has progressed. Charisma is still a little higher than our power. Now the opponent will have a couple of stronger cards that just haven't shown up yet. There we are, there's one of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice this card first of all. So the Becky Lynch is our last one here, and we're just going to use the super move to guarantee the win and get an extra 3 points. And that's going to give us 130 points. And of course, that's also going to add to our quests, as well as leveling up our females. There's another Piper. That's what we like to see. So we'll keep this Royal Rumble 26, and we will keep this Survivor Series Rowdy Piper. We'll dust the rest, and that should give us a rarity draft pick as well. And also remember, we're also waiting for 24/7 to activate to get another 24/7 title defense, which will give us more Rowdy Pipers. Now, bravo, that's not quite as good. We don't need that one. We can just go ahead and dust that. So the Playing Leagues one is not repeatable. I thought it was, my mistake. The Super Move one is repeatable, and of course the 24/7 Championship is also repeatable. We just need 8 more Rowdy Piper Legacy cards, and then we'll complete the Bagpipe quest. We'll see what happens from there. Just want to always go out and check our 24/7, make sure that an opponent hasn't shown up, although nothing said that it had. Sometimes they do appear when you're not looking. And you can see that our Roxanne Perez now has 13 games, who was previously at 0. So that is very cool that we can get that as well. And also, today's daily streak is a WrestleMania Rewind Becky Lynch. So if we do make the pro of her, we can fortify her as well. I think I've already got enough to make an F1, so I think we can make an F2. That's fine, that's what we wanted to see. And we're going to use the Becky Lynch here, so that we can try and pro her. We just need 7 games, so this will be one of them, so we need 6 more. We're going to go for Charisma, because her Charisma is 600,000. And we'll go for Speed next, which is 578. Then we're going to have to go for Power, because we don't really want to go using a Roxanne Perez here. And then Toughness, and if we survive this, we'll go back into Charisma. It looks like it's going to have to be Toughness again. So Toughness is just a little bit higher than our Power. And Toughness once more. And if my calculations are correct, I believe that is our Becky Lynch up to her 100 matches. So this is all just bonus at this point. So our Power is just a little bit higher than our Toughness. So we'll go for that next. Now the opponent does have 2 special cards here, so I'm expecting to see one of them now. Or not, okay, surprising. So then this last one should be... That is indeed a Pro Ember Brie Bella that took us out at the last moment there. That does give us 110 points. And it also gives us some more draft picks. So we'll keep the Royal Rumble 26 support, just to use as a multiplier in WrestleMania Forever. That, of course, also moves us up to our next reward. But now, let's go ahead and make a pro of our Becky Lynch. Oh, it seems we didn't have an F1. I thought we did. So we are going to go to trainable. We will lock her down. And if we claim today's daily streak, there we go. There is another Becky Lynch. The man has truly come around. Let's go ahead and grab this Battle Pass Infinite reward, which those supports might actually end up being useful, unironically, but the Bravo and Piper Niven are not. And we are just going to go ahead and use them. That brings her up to level 105. So I should have fortified before. It was rather silly of me. We'll maybe level her up again a little bit later on, once we've got some more cards. Let's take a look at WrestleMania Forever. Do we have enough to throw in yet? We do. I think we'll use a Royal Rumble 26 since we've got them here. And now we will use that Ember t-shirt that we don't need to F1 our Becky Lynch. Worked out in the end. So we still need 8 more Rowdy papers. Still waiting on 24/7. Don't have any more boom rewards yet. So I guess we go back into leagues. And we're going to swap out the man Becky Lynch with the other Roxanne Perez. I'm going to use a different image just so that I can clearly see the difference between the two of them. I think I've always liked this one where she's mocking Bailey. So I think that's the one that we're going to go with there. Now, is there anything else that I can do realistically? Now, I think 24/7, or not 24/7, Tag Team Takedown gives us some rewards, but I don't think it gives us Rowdy papers. No, it doesn't. It just contains legacy cards. I really want to try and get these last 8 Rowdy papers in this video, because otherwise I'm going to make it into a short later on when 24/7 activates. PCC is still coming soon. We do have another boom bout here, so let's go ahead and play that. That could be fun. Against Snake Eyes. Okay, now how do I want to go about doing this? I think weirdly it's going to be this, which isn't normally the move that I would go with, but it's what we currently have in front of us. Okay. Just want to see what the opponent would do from that position. We now have that answer. I think, yes, it is that one. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any position for CM Punk, so he's just going to have to go here. Now, that is a problem. Okay, this is unfortunately the best that I can do without eliminating any of my own cards. So less points than we would normally get, because we didn't have the CM Punk in the middle, we didn't have the Matt Cardona in the middle, but that was, I think, about the best that I can do. That's actually a really cool image of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. And it is a pro for us, as is that Rey Mysterio. And that's another Rowdy Piper. Which means we only need 7 more, I believe. The other thing we can do here is we go into Edit Deck and we swap. Go to Need Variant. Our Lita and Becky Lynch, both our WrestleMania Rewinds, both require War. So unfortunately, I think they are likely to lose their games, but hopefully we win enough with our males that it won't make any difference. Ah, they're all left arrow. Okay, I see. And I thought one was a right arrow, but it is not. And unfortunately, I think that is what we are going to go with. Also, War is just a little bit faster than Royal Rumble. So of course our fastest in speed is Randy Orton, but he's our only right arrow. So we're not going to go with that, we're going to go with Matt Cardona instead. Power and Charisma. Jake the Snake Roberts against Triple H. And then this one, it was of course Speed and Charisma, which we're going to give to Becky Lynch here. And see if she can win this match. Now for War, she doesn't need to win the War Games, she just needs to participate in them. When it comes to Elimination Chamber, it's based on how many wins you get with that card. Just need to get out of here as quickly as possible so that we can go and do our 24/7. Joe Hendry running away in the treadmill, with his belt getting stolen by Austin Theory. And thank goodness the 24/7 doesn't exist anymore. That was an absolute nonsense if you lived during that time. Matt Cardona and Randy Orton. Two veterans of the industry. Male solo of toughness, I think we're going to go with the big man, Yokozuna, against Damian Priest. And then a female tag team. We'll use the championship here to just give ourselves a little bit additional toughness. Against Alexa Bliss and Stephanie McClure. Now I remember when that Undisputed Championship used to be red and got updated to blue, and they have never bothered updating it to gold ever. So that's another 3 Rowdy Pipers, which is very cool. We are very, very close. We're only 4 Rowdy Pipers away. We do have 9 draft picks here, so we could get lucky. I think we'll continue playing couple more games of war. See if we can get another 24/7 match to start. So this is a tag team of power. I think we're going to go with Joe Hendry and Randy Orton against Triple H and himself. Triple H's favourite tag partner. A Royal Rumble's 26 guitar. We keep hold of that for the time being. Can certainly be used to trade on some cards in WrestleMania Forever. Give us a nice multiplier of 3.5. For power, it's going to be Joe Hendry against the Tribal Chief. Female toughness, well, let's go ahead and use guitar here for Lita. And then toughness and charisma against Lady Flamer, which we did manage to win. So of course War doesn't give you quite as many points or as many draft picks. Now we have reached the maximum number of sport cards, so we are going to dust that one. And we are going to go back to WrestleMania Forever and trash some of our cards. Or trade them in, if you will. Now, that one's not terrible. So we're going to use an Ember card here. It's going to give us another 1,000 points. And some WrestleMania 42 boots. Those are actually very, very good. So we are going to keep those. And we've only got 2 other ones here. But if we're going to keep those at WrestleMania boots, we do need to get rid of something else, which is unfortunately probably going to be a WrestleMania Rewind. Do you think it might even just be these ones that have ability? So we need to find our Roxanne Perez. I'm going to swap these out. For these ones. And we're going to go ahead and dust these boots and this Brutus Creed. Good. Still need 4? Still need 4. Okay. Let's play some more Games of War to try and get those variants on our females. Tag team. I think since we're using Randy Orton, we can use Matt Cardona here. Toughness and charisma. Go with Lita on this one. Then power and speed. The man, Becky Lynch. is able to take out that victory as well. Really hoping to see... Okay, we got a Rowdy Piper there. I was really hoping to see a 24/7 match. So she's got 2 of her war. She has 4. And let's jump in and we'll do another one. So I believe the next 24/7 match will be enough for us to get the last 3 remaining Rowdy Pipers, which will complete the quest for us. This is up to 3 and 5 of our variants in war, respectively. And then in toughness, Jake the Snake Roberts is going to beat the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Okay, we didn't get anything there, but we are very close. We're out of leagues. We are currently out of Boom. 24/7 has not yet shown up. It may very well just be some games of Boom that we do, because we're so close here. Only 3 more is going to give us a guaranteed WrestleMania 42 card as well, and it's also going to complete the quest for us. So I think we are just going to play some games of Boom here. How many more games do we need for Randy Orton? Just 1 more, and then we can swap him out with whoever. We are going to swap out this Becky Lynch with our other Roxanne Perez, because that's the one we're going to focus on proing next. The opponents all still rewind? Nope, they have now moved down to Ember tier, which is what I wanted to see. Make the opponents a little bit easier for us. And that's the last game that Randy Orton needs. We can pick him up from the Performance Center now. Kit Wilson is next. Normally I don't record these parts. I'm just doing it because we're waiting for a 24/7 so that we can complete the Rowdy Piper quest. And I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying this. A slightly longer video than what I would normally make. That's fine, we don't care about the win, we just care about getting the match. And of course there's big old Mean Gene Okerlund. And any one of these draft picks could also be a Rowdy Piper as well. So now let's go over to the Performance Center and claim our Randy Orton. Now, one Kit Wilson needs his matches. Carmelo Hayes need their matches, of course. The other Randy Orton is down here. He is currently a level 0. Which I think we might level him up and put him into the Performance Center. We could also put the Rowdy Piper into the Performance Center, because we will surely be getting a pro of him, you would imagine. Now let's go back into Wild and swap out Randy Orton, of course, for the Rowdy one, Roddy Piper. And we can start getting matches for each of them. So of course, once we get the 100 matches on Kit Wilson, the 100 matches on the other Randy Orton, we'll be able to make the pros of them. Once we get the second Roddy Piper, he's probably going to take the place of this Joe Hendry. We can get the 100 matches on Joe Hendry a little bit later on. But that Joe Hendry is a good placeholder for the time being, and he also needs matches. So we'll keep with that for just now. Again, that's what we want to see. We want to see the 24/7 Championship. We want to see the 24/7 title defended. That seemed more like a bulldog than a sleeper hold, but okay. Who am I to argue? In the wise words of Chris Jericho and Fozzy, who am I to kill a stranger after all that we've been through? Yes, I did used to listen to Fozzy when I was younger. And we've unlocked an equipment bonus. I'm not even sure which equipment bonus, so we'll need to check. There it is. There's these WrestleMania Rewind L pads, and unfortunately, 3% trigger. It's not very good. And this one we literally just started. Same with that one. So that's fine. I can't believe that we're waiting on a singular 24/7 title to show up so that we can get the second Roddy Piper. That's fine. As I said, we don't care about the wins. We just care about getting the matches. If we get the wins, that's an added bonus. Why? Why are you taking so long? Literally just one more is all we need. After this game, I'll check to see if any leagues or Boom have re-emerged. I think that's just enough to beat us, unfortunately. Interesting that Kit Wilson and Danhausen are actually feuding with one another. Alongside The Miz. Which is unironically one of the best things in WWE at the moment. The more games we get, the more variants, the more powerful that Rowdy Paper is going to become. We'll go with this Roxanne Perez. It's slightly higher speed. I don't think we need the adventure sport. Generally only keeping things that are static or higher. And sometimes not even the static ones. I'm going to go ahead and claim this just in case we can get a paper from them. No such luck, although we can make a pro of that. Chad Gable here. I'm considering doing a Money in the Bank just for something different, something more fun to do, rather than just mindlessly playing Wild while hoping for 24/7 to show up. I have heard a rumour that apparently playing different modes makes 24/7 show up faster. I don't know how true that is. Actually, let's go into leagues and let's check on our survivor. There we go. We came fourth. Wow, there must have been a lot of people not playing. This was going to give us a rare draft pick as well. Shoutouts to Paul Heyman for winning that game of Survivor. Oh, and we've got a leagues match again. So let's jump in and play a quick game of War before we get that rarity draft pick that we got from Survivor there. We are going to go ahead and use our super move, because using our super move a number of times is one of the little requests that we have. And then power, we'll just go ahead and use Joe Hendry, who is taking out the Inductator. Unfortunately, not helpful. Again, I'm just going to wander over here and check the 24/7 because I feel like that should have shown up at some point. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll go back into leagues. And we will start another Survivor. And again, we're going to exit out of this one. See a few different championship belts in there. Unfortunately, you can't exit out of this until you've got your deck in front of you. That would be a Pro Montez Ford for us if we were playing, but we are not. Let's do a quick game of Money in the Bank, shall we? Haven't auto-filled that for a while. Yep, let's just try it. Let's just jump in, see how we get on. How many people still play Money in the Bank regularly? I don't think it's many. Okay, so the first one is toughness and speed, which I think we could do with pretty much anyone. So we're going to use Undertaker here against Damian Priest. Next one is power and charisma. So we want to go after one of the +5, so it's going to be Randy Orton that we'll be taking on, and it's going to be Roman Reigns. Next one is either power and toughness or power and speed. So we're looking for someone that has decent power, and it's going to be against one of the Undertakers because those are +5s. Just go ahead and use a Joe Hendry here, just to make sure that we absolutely win. So we want someone with big charisma. It's going to be a Jake the Snake Roberts, and we'll go with Drew McIntyre. It's either power and charisma or toughness and charisma, both of which I believe Jake the Snake wins. And then the final one, it is either speed and charisma or toughness and speed. So let's give plus speed to Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre, as Randy Orton attempts to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. There he is, holding the Money in the Bank briefcase aloft his head. That's going to give us an additional 50 super coins. Unfortunately, that didn't help us at all. No 24/7, no Jake the Snake Roberts. We do have another game of Boom. Let's jump into this one then. I'm playing all the different game modes today. I don't have anything that can take care of this space. Oh, that is infuriating. I think this is the best option I've got, unfortunately. Okay, that worked out completely fine. And that's our 3 Randy Ortons done as well. And there we go. 246,493 points. Some lovely old school cards, all of which we already had as pros, but they will make wonderful fodder for WrestleMania Forever. I can't help but think that PCC should be starting at some point soon. With how long this video has been going on, as we've been waiting for 24/7 to hurry up. It is an absolute nightmare. It is now 10:15 p.m., which means that PCC should have started. Although it does say coming soon, so that's incorrect. Alright, let me pause the video for just a second, folks. Yes, I need to check some messages. Alright, well, since this is taking a while, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into PCC. I'm going to choose the Ethan Page because I really think that more people are going to know who Ethan Page is than Tony D'Angelo. So let's jump in. Who will be the People's Champion? I'm going to choose Ethan Page. And it looks like he is already in the lead with 15,000 to 7,000 games. We're, of course, right at the beginning here. And we're going to change these up to just our best cards for the time being. I'm going to make them all left and right arrows so that I can do this without ever looking at my phone. That looks pretty good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into this match here. And I'm going to use all 4 of my paw pads. And they are going to be clicking away like this. And I don't even need to look at my phone, as we should just win every single game. Of course, you can also use PCC to train up your cards. It is just like playing Auto. Well, it's just like playing Auto. No, I was thinking of a different game. I was thinking of Raid Shadow Legends. It's Raid Shadow Legends has an auto ability to automatically do the fights for you. No, it's just like playing Wild, just to train up your cards. And yes, I do still play Raid Shadow Legends. I just don't make videos on it because I am not particularly good at it, I don't think. I think I'm okay, actually. I think I've got a decent little team. But, I mean, I'm nowhere near the professional ranks of some people. So, I largely just play it for free, for fun, in the background. I log in each day whenever there's a special event on. I got myself Predator and I got myself the Alien. I got Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, along with Alice. I've got a few other decent and cool little cards. When is this 24/7 championship showing up? This has been going on forever. I did have other plans today, you know. Don't know why that wasn't selecting. Just had to stop tapping my pause so much. But yeah, this is what I'll do. I'll just be sitting here tapping away like this, and I'll be watching YouTube, or I'll be watching a film or a movie or something. Let's actually take a look at the... Okay, so there is what the Ethan Page looks like, and there is what the Tony D'Angelo looks like. Do remember that if you do want the Tony D'Angelo image, it will be available on the Backstage store if Ethan Page wins. But Ethan Page is in the lead at the moment. That's just to make sure that I am not a robot. That I am not ChatGPT. I don't know how the hell ChatGPT would play W Supercard. Poorly, I imagine. Tap, 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 tap. This is also a good way to get super moves as well. If you're still needing super moves for your quest to get Rowdy Piper. Finally! Good heavens! So now all I need to do is win this 24/7 championship, and we will have completed the quest. So let's hope we don't screw this up. It's going to be The Undertaker, the Inductator himself, stealing the 24/7 championship from Joe Hendry. Don't know why the hell he needs it. And it's also Ric Flair. Interesting. Looks a lot more like The Undertaker than Ric Flair. So a tag team of charisma. It's going to be Yokozuna and Drew McIntyre against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes and The Undertaker. There's going to be a female tag team of toughness. It's going to be Sol Ruka and Nia Jax against Jade Cargill and Liv Morgan. And lastly, it's going to be a male solo power, which is going to be Joe Hendry, even with the table. Has more than enough to take out Seth freaking Rollins. There we go. We've got ourselves a perfect game. Let's claim our rewards now. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3 Rowdy Pipers. There's a 4th and a 5th, just for good measure. The objective is complete the card collector. The Brash Bags Pipes quest has also been completed. Let's go ahead and claim our JC Mateo, which is new. We'll lock him down. But most importantly, this Rowdy Piper pack. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. Is this going to give us both the championship and the Rowdy Piper, or is it going to give us one or the other? It does say it contains one of each, so I'm hoping that both are here. There is the championship, and there is the Piper. So it does contain both. Thank goodness for that. Now, this Golden Era Championship is a times 10 multiplier on the WrestleMania Forever. However, it's also pure toughness, and it's the Winged Eagle. So I'm not going to be using it for a times 10 multiplier. Instead, I am going to be proing it, and I'm going to keep it as a memento. So this Damien Priest will do it completely fine. And it currently gives 236.7 to toughness, but if we combine these two, it gives 260.4 thousand to toughness. We are, of course, going to train that up. Then that gives 303.8 thousand to toughness, which should be one of our strongest supports. So the Banzai drop is 303.8. The Golden Era Championship is 303.8. The Soul Snatcher is 303.8. And the only thing that we are lacking in is the Universe, is the Charisma even, which W Universe gives us 276.1. But I think one of the titles gives us Charisma as well. So this is much stronger than the highest toughness that you can get, which is from the guitar. This is, of course, a WrestleMania Rewind guitar, not a WrestleMania 41 guitar, but you can see that WrestleMania 42 Pro would be 276.1. So if you had a Pro guitar, that's how much it would give you. If you had an F1, it'd be 281.6, which is still nothing in comparison to 303.8. So this, I would say, is well worth making a Pro and not using as a ×10 multiplier. I am very, very glad that we got that quest done, accomplished, out of the way. The last things to do is to use the super move. We can do that 2 more times, and it's going to give us 10 more Rowdy papers. And to win a game in 24/7 Championship, we need to do that 12 more times, and each one's going to give us a bonus chance of getting another Rowdy paper, along with some other wonderful little goodies. Whew. That has been one hell of a video, folks, I would say. We're going to give this Rowdy paper a different image, and I think I'm tempted to go for this one. And let's level him up. We'll go for unlocked here. That is 85 levels. Now just a little bit more. One AJ Styles is enough. And he is now up to level 100. And now if we go into Wild here, I will take this off of Joe Hendry. We will swap in the Rowdy paper. We'll give him this WrestleMania Rewind knee pads. In fact, actually, I think we'll swap these two over, because I feel like we're going to get the Pro Rowdy paper before we get the Pro Roxanne Perez, and that just makes a little bit more sense to me. So there's 2 ways to play PCC. One is just to have the best cards and just run right through, as we have been doing. The other is to use PCC to train up your cards. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. So if we go into Edit Deck, and we're going to go ahead and pick these Rowdy papers that we need to make into Pros. And this one, and the other one is this Randy Orton. And of course our Roxanne Perez's. If we go back out and we go back in, you'll see that the opponents match our deck. And if we jump into this one, so long as we win 2 of the 3 games, you'll still get the 5 points. Now this way, it does require looking at the screen a little bit more, because you are going to have to choose what ones you want to use. And then toughness and speed. We'll just use Piper here. And regardless of whether we win or lose the next game, we still have the 5 points from playing that one. And it looks like we did manage to win, surprisingly. Now I think we're also very close to the space limit. So I think before we finish up the video, we're going to cash in some cards in WrestleMania Forever, and then that's going to end up the video. But we did manage to get... Well, actually we can go ahead and claim this as well. Some terrible rewards. But we did manage to get the Pro of the Winged Eagle Championship. We'll also have 2 of the Rowdy Pipers. Once we get them their 100 matches each, we will be making that into a Pro as well. We'll see how that works out for us. But let's just go ahead and jump into WrestleMania Forever here. We're going to trade in some Legacy cards. And we will use an Ember card for this one. I think we'll just use the Royal Rumble 26 for that one. And unfortunately we are one short of being able to do the next one, but those are pretty low level points, so I think I'm actually okay with just dusting those. I'm certainly okay with dusting these. We'll keep those 3. But we're even dusting the Static and Adventure Sports. We don't need them. And we don't need this Bradshaw or these Sweatbands either. And I guess these 4 can just sit there until we get another one. I don't believe we've got anything new that we need to pro there. So there we are. Okay. So I think that is going to be it for this little video, folks. An extremely long little video. Was not intending to make it this long, but we did manage to get the Pro of the Hall of Fame Rowdy Piper. We also managed to get the Pro of the Winged Eagle. So that was very, very cool. And if we just go into recent, actually. There it is. And of course, we also managed to get the Leilani Kai in the previous video, which we, of course, need to find a second one to make into a Pro. But that is now going to be it for this little video, folks, and I really hope that you've all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Actually, I just realized we are 30 seconds away from 2 hours. So let's do one quick little game. Make this into a 2-hour-long video. Not because it means anything, just because it's nice to say that we made a 2-hour-long video. So of course this is what I mean when you're trying to train your cards. You do need to actually pay attention to PCC rather than just clicking mindlessly. Just to try and make sure that you win. And this is what I'm going to be doing for a large part of the majority of the night. And this is what I'm also going to be doing for a large part of the majority of the night. Waiting on network. Absolutely wonderful. Well, let me just do the outro one last time for everyone. If you did stick around for the entire 2 hours, huge thank you, huge shout outs to you guys. You can let me know that you stayed the entire 2 hours by going into the comment section and saying, trying to think of a ridiculous saying that no one else in the comment section will understand unless you actually watched to this point in the video. How about Grand Cat Chicken Soup? Yes. If you type in the comment section Grand Cat Chicken Soup, I will know that you have watched the entire 2-hour video, or at least you skipped to the end, and I will personally give you a little heart, and I will thank you if I have enough time to do so. But certainly for the first few people that do it, if you are early enough in the video, then I will reply to those comments. But that's now going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope you've all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.